I have no idea where I came up with the concept that a daily foot-long Subway sandwich with only a few vegetables, cheese, and mayonnaise could be the foundation of a healthy diet. I'm actually having a hard time recalling a lot of specific memories from that time of my life. I remember the Subway sandwiches. I remember going to a sad little gym at my sad little apartment complex by my sad little self nearly every single day of that time of my life. I remember driving to Barnes and Noble and strolling through the aisles and sipping coffee at the tables there at the little coffee shop, secretly hoping that I'd have the nerve to meet someone. I never did. I remember finding the gumption to drive to a bar one evening. I'd park in front of it. I sat in my car for a while and then I just decided to turn around and go back to my apartment alone. I remember a grill I had on my tiny apartment patio. I never hosted a barbecue though. I don't even remember cooking on this grill. In fact, my only memory related to the grill is of this tiny, deformed, barely alive, pathetic baby bird that had been hatched inside the grill in the spring. Its mother had abandoned it. It was alone. It was helpless. I remember those Subway sandwiches that I'd eat for dinner like every night at my apartment, like my little tiny dinette set all by myself. I remember worse parts of that time too, parts of my life that were darker. But this isn't a competition of bad memories about bad times. This is a remembrance of a time period many people might be in right now, a lonely time, a depressed time. Nobody told me I was depressed back then. To be fair, I barely talked with anyone, so nobody could tell me. And I definitely didn't let people see most of those parts of my life. I didn't even admit to myself that I was depressed, and I didn't use the word lonely either. Those weren't things that someone like me ever is. Those are other people's words, other people's afflictions, other people's weaknesses, I'm sure I thought at the time. I was in a new job, in a new city, in a new part of my life. New should be heavenly, but it often is not. This particular part of my life was over 20 years ago. I've since come to terms with what I was drowning in then, and I've since occasionally floated in it since. I was depressed. I was lonely. Those two partners dance together easily. Depression sings a quiet siren song in your ear, beckoning you toward isolation. And aloneness feeds you more little spoonfuls of the bitterly addictive depression serum. Spinning and twirling together, you're unknowingly enchanted into an ongoing nighttime by their dual powers of seduction. Dipping and twisting, you're soon lost in this dark and desperate dance. The night seems to last forever. Maybe it will. Morning is a long lost memory to which you'll likely never return, it seems. This is hell. I mean that theologically. This is hell. Don't get me wrong, there are worse hells. I've glimpsed several others, and I know people who are stuck in their own and who have intimately known other hells that I'll never be able to truly imagine. But this one I've visited. This one I remember. Subway sandwich hell, spiraling loneliness hell. Can't find the courage to walk into the bar by myself hell. Pathetic workouts at the crappy apartment weight room. Sad, deformed, abandoned baby bird hell. Lonely, lonely hell. It may not sound like hell to many, but it is. Hopelessness, loneliness, and emptiness are among the strongest antonyms of heaven. When Jesus calls out on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? He is in hell, forsaken, abandoned, lonely. Now, maybe there is a fiery afterlife, capital H hell. I'm not sure. I don't give it much thought, if I'm being honest. I figure if I can help other people stay out of their own hells of the here and now, that's insurance enough when it's all said and done for me to take the luxury elevator up and not the greased, sun-scorched metal slide down. And anyway, I know the pain of feeling forsaken, of feeling abandoned, of feeling lonely, of dancing with the devil of depression and discoing with the dark angel of aching aloneness. That pain, once you've known it, is something you want to save people from experiencing. Our world is too lonely. Social scientists are screaming from their research podiums that more people than ever report feeling lonely and or depressed. Statistically, more people are in hell than ever before. We should save them. My thesis for you in this sermon is, well, it's probably pretty obvious by now. Maybe saving people from loneliness is the same as saving them from the eternal damnation of hell. I'm not sure, but it's a worthy way to spend our days. Here's a short blessing. If you find yourself in the darkness of loneliness, know that you are not truly alone. It is an illusion. May you know that you are surrounded by light, surrounded by love, and surrounded by people who have known the darkness too. May you feel our presence and see our faint glow guiding you back into the light. Amen. Hey, Between is about you. Take this message out into your life this week and fill the space between you and every person you encounter with your sacred light. My favorite church is the space between people. Now go with God's love and create the church between.